myself a promise, I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters, and we ain't got nothing to hide.
What up, what up, what up, TGIF? We have made it. We are at the weekend. Happy Friday to everybody out there, April 25th. And we're here. Pregaming, Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Sports money is where it's at. Hopefully everybody had a good time last night. Nice little live Thursday night stream. We were back. We were off schedule there with that Friday PFL match. No action last Thursday, but there was plenty of action last night. Lots of great cashers, big winners, lots of cocktails. And all the rest that goes into those Thursday night streams. So appreciate everybody that was a part of that evening. And of course, our guys on screen. Big day today. We've got ourselves plenty of action. We've got 3 games in the NBA, 3 games in the NHL, and a whole bunch of games in Major League Baseball. I was going to put a play out there, and then it got canceled. Literally, just as I put the bet in, it got canceled like 2 minutes later. I was like, maybe even a minute later. I was like, oh, man, what a break. But we had a decent night last night. All in all, show-wise here, we got some money in our pockets. Not a ton, but it was in the black. We did lose that Tampa Bay game. 6:30. Man, I rushed to get those games in, and I'm just rushing to catch a loser. Washington Nationals taking an L 2-1. In the 5th inning, too. I mean, no breaks there at all. It was top of the 5th inning. After leading the whole way. They did get the under, though. We did cash the under 8.5 with a 2-1 finish. Both teams struggling to find consistency with their bats. We got the Knicks. The Knickerbockers squeaked it out. 118-116, but it still paid the same. And an overtime game with the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Ottawa Senators. 3-2 plus money. Sweaty, but a win. Tyler Anderson, first K prop I give out on the show. 5.5 Ks. He gets 1. Yeah, that's not going to cash. That's not going to cut it. He gave up a home run right off the gate. O'Neal Cruz. I forgot who was on O'Neal Cruz. Right off the pop. It was the first pitch. It's never a good sign for it. I was like, oh man, really? Right off the gate? Right like that off the gate? You're going to do us like that, dude? The St. Louis Blues crushed the Winnipeg Jets 7-2. I mean, that was do or die for the St. Louis Blues, and they did. They did all right, 7-2. Found a weakness there on home ice against Connor Hellebuck. Anybody that played the over wants to throw up after that. Or I'm sorry, the under. OKC Thunder, -9.5. Win by 6. Do not cover. I think they broke the streak of 8 or 9 in a row in that spot. So disappointing. We closed off the night, though, with an under 8.5 at Texas and Oakland. Wow, I guess it's not Oakland. It's Sacramento. And it's not Sacramento. It's not Las Vegas. You're really nobody. You're the Athletics. And you paid us the under 8.5. So, look, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Did not cash the parlay with Vegas and the first half Nationals. Vegas got spanked. What's going on with Vegas? Are they done? Eliminatio? Eliminated? It's a little early to be eliminated, but what's trend is in place still. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the water. Your first home game back after playing in Las Vegas goes over. If it's your first game back. Got to have just played in Vegas. We talked about it for a couple of days. Surprised I didn't give it out here. My bad. My miss, but we talked about it live on our live show. So, all in all, not bad. I'm surprised here. I guess early takeaway, Tampa Bay Lightning. That's not good. That's not good. You're going to go home? Are you going to go on the road now to Florida? And Florida did not care about home ice. As it turns out, it didn't need it. I think Toronto is going to find a way to sweep these Senators. What we talk about? Not playing the right positions. Your good guys are goon guys. That's never a good thing. Never works out the right way at the end. And that's the way it goes. I'm really shocked that the Minnesota, sandbagging SOBs is what Minnesota was, man, all year long. Kind of scrapping and grinding and can't quite get any rhythm. And here they are, taking on the Vegas Golden Knights. NBA-wise, OKC Thunder going to probably toast the Grizzlies, right? I think with some of these games, and the Clippers nuked the Nuggets. You got to have a coach, man. It was ballsy to fire your coach with like 2 weeks left in the season, but I guess they had to make a change because that team was falling apart. But Clippers are good at home. What are you going to say? They have a 2-1 series lead. Finish off these Nuggets and send them on their way. Send them on their way. Anybody know that little drop? I'll give you guys another fresh little drop today. That's it. That's my assessment of how it's going down here. I can't believe OKC didn't cover. They got busted up in that first quarter. That was the problem. You know what was the problem? Keep an eye on this when you're live betting. When you're getting absolutely nuked, you're down 10 points, 15 points, and you were a 9.5-point favorite, and you're still a 6.5-point favorite. Probably a good time to recognize that team's not going to lose. That would be my guess. Kind of saw that. I kept saying, I'm like, I can't believe they're down this much, and yet they're still. I think they got all the way down to 3.5 at one point. Might have even been a little bit lower. But if Scottie Pippen Jr. is your go-to guy, you're in trouble. 28 points, 3 steals. Yikes. We'll move on. We'll move through this thing here today. We've got a special guest segment. Blind Faith here. Blind Faith at 6:45. So we've got a bunch of games to get through. We've got ourselves action in the NHL. We'll pop off with the NHL here. We'll talk about the Nationals and Capitals. I'm sorry. Let me try that again. We'll talk about the Capitals and the Canadiens. Les Habitants. We'll talk about the Kings and the Oilers. Maybe we'll talk about this little sandwich game in between with Carolina and New Jersey. I just don't like that line on the road. I think New Jersey's toast. Kind of has a feeling like that Vegas game to me, though. With the exception that Vegas lost at home that second game and Carolina did not. I like New Jersey's team total under. There's a look for you guys. We'll get into Major League Baseball. The Bronx AL East showdown between the Blue Jays and the Yankees. We'll move to the Central with Houston and Kansas City. We'll wrap her up on the West Coast with Pittsburgh and the Dodgers. It's Skeens night. Can't wait to hear about that. Skeens night. Then we're going to talk about one of the best trends in the NBA playoffs. That will be the Boston and Orlando spot. Boston and Orlando. 63-7 trend. Boston and Orlando. And then we'll wrap her up with Indiana, and Milwaukee Bucks. How's that sound for a day? And then at 6:45, we'll get to our new segment that I'm excited about. And I'm hoping it all comes together. Speaking of coming together, you guys have done a great job assembling and making comments. A show high yesterday. 29 comments on the show. Tremendous job. Zofe, Kelly B, Brent Matthews, William Cox, Algus, Redbeard, Ronnie Young, David Wallace. I love you guys made a couple comments. That's great. Kelly V, David Wallace made some comments. Several comments. Phil the Kill, Dale Fick. That means a lot, you guys. I really appreciate you being involved in the way we're doing this thing. That's exciting. That continues to help us grow. It gets us promoted across YouTube. Helps us attract new viewers. The more we grow, the more we can bring on segments like we're going to do today. So it's awesome. Thank you guys so much for being a part of that, taking the time to do that. I know it's an extra step afterwards, but think of all the prep that goes into the show. Getting all these trends, giving you guys these stats and these angles. You know they don't want to help you. They've already put it in writing. I don't want to show you how to win. We want you to pay us. Not us. Not here at Sports Money. All we're asking you guys from a currency perspective is to take some time in show to smash the thumbs up and out of show to leave a comment. In fact, let's get this show on the road. So take some time now if you haven't done so already. Close that comment section, pop open that thumbs up, and then get back into the chat so we can get going on the show. Okay. What do we got? What do we got going on here? We've got ourselves First Strike. We've got 6 plays for the UFC between the two shows, BB MMA and Ramon show. The boys of First Strike and the UFC playbook. Look for that tonight. Several updates. We just got through the weigh-ins. We'll see who missed weight. We'll talk to you guys about our strategies, our angles, our plays, our parlays. All that stuff will be out there tonight on the community tab. All medal level members, bronze, silver, and gold. And if you haven't gotten a chance to go to silver or gold yet, perfect time to do it. Weekend's here. Got a whole bunch of action early tomorrow and Sunday. You're not going to want to miss out on the premium plays that we have available. It's $5. It's $5. Come on. All this work and effort. That's all we're asking for here. Time to get to work, though. Let's check out what's going on in the chat. We got to get moving. 6:45, 30 minutes. I'm going to cross my fingers. It all works according to plan. But I think it's going to be a fun little segment. We'll see. We'll see what you guys think. Always open for suggestions. Make sure you guys do take the time in the comments afterwards. Let us know. What plays are you on? I see Kelly V said Jets are winning this series. Says don't get crazy now. Not saying they go to the cup, but they will win the series. Was a fun comment for me to read. Probably. I mean, they should. It's the Blues. That was like the desperate last breath of air for St. Louis there. I think they lose this next game and then probably tail between their legs when they go back to Winnipeg. So let's see. Let's see how it all shakes out. Shout out. Excuse me. Shout out to Joe T in here, rocking with us. His Reds Guardians over 8.5 was his play of the day. But since it's canceled, he's got no play. Saves him a loss because I was going to play the under. And the under was going to cash. So it saves him a loss. But he's going to give us one anyways. He's got the Braves and Diamondbacks over 8.5. I think that's a great look. Out there in the desert. Interesting matchups. Joe Dubs in the house. Gerald Jones. He's rolling. Best bet. 38-28. He's got the Habitas and Capitals under 5.5. Ignatius Penny Feather the 7th is here. Jay Main, Ken Wood says he bet the Cubs first 5, and it's looking good. Yeah, I had a bet, and then then with the rain delay, I canceled it, and it was Cubs. It was something about a team going on the road against a better team in game 1 of a series, something like that. It was real simple, but it was really Cubs. Shame on them, Phils. Robert McCormick's here. Blake's in the house. What's up, Blake M? Oldie. Got the Mets team total over 5.5 on his ticket. Peter Grassi is here. Gonna be busy, but he's listening. We appreciate that, man. Appreciate you, Pete. Stop Geo Engineering's rocking with us. Good luck tonight. Thanks for doing the show, man. Appreciate you. Stop Geo Engineering. Ron Young, happy Friday. Excuse me. I'll read better. And Oldie giving us some numbers here. Says only a handful of games this season with the away team total over at 9.5. And they like to do one thing. I'm struggling to read. What is that one thing? Team total over 5.5 and full game total at 9.5. Okay, I see what he's saying. I see what he's saying there. What do they like to do? Go under? Do they win? I want to know. I want in. I want in on this thing. Peter Grassi says he caught a long shot. OKC live plus 600 to win while down 13. Wow. Shit. Woo. Gorky in the house. He says Stallions by 13 plus. Lakers money line. Sancho likes the Lakers money line. Oh, Gorky's got that for tomorrow, he says. Oldies, give him a shout out. Gorky likes the Wild money line. The Rockets money line. And the Padres and Yankees money lines. Padres just missed a cut for me. Just missed a cut today. Let's see what's going on. The hype is real. Sports money, says Ignatius Penny Feather, my man. Let's go, Big Scott. Let's start this weekend off with a bang, he says. Michael P. Thanks for the hard work. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate all you guys here rocking with us. Ignatius Penny Feather, can't wait till Saturday. Me either. I was saying to Jeff and Sub yesterday, they ought to start doing this twice a week. 2 UFC, not the Dana White. I know the Dana White Contender Series, but I still like those too. I don't care. Give me combat twice a week. UFC combat though, not the stuff I can bet on, not the stuff I can't bet on. Some of these regional cards and undercards, I got to get the offshores cooking, and I don't mind, but just a creature of habit. I like the interfaces that are available here stateside. Dana Delp likes the Reds under 4.5. First 5. Big Scott likes Reds money line, Wolves -3, Padres -1.5 on the card tonight. I like that a lot. The Reds, they were saying a lot of public action coming in on the Reds. I don't care. To me, it's, why there's a lot of public action coming in on it? Because Colorado stinks. That's the bottom line. They're just not a good program right now. And yeah, they're at home. But good old Andy Abbott has found a way to do some things out there. Consistency. 2 starts, 11 innings pitched. He's going over 5. That's the key number. And he's got an ERA of 1.64. Struck out 16 batters. That was just cut. Just missed a cut. Just missed the cut. Champion says the Rockies are horrible. Who's on first? They are bad. All right, let's get into the NHL. Let's get this thing rolling and see if we can't make all this come to fruition. Lickety split. Timing is key. It's been a minute. We'll pop off, though, talking about this Capitals and Montreal spot here, of course. Montreal coming in down 2-0. Now, this might be Captain Obvious statement of the day, but I'll make it anyways. If you're just coming home and you're down 2-0, your back's against the wall. Ergo, St. Louis Blues last night. I think the universal situation, though, is the drunken rowdiness of a Friday and Saturday crew. So I think any of these teams that are coming back home, especially being down in a series, are very much live. I don't care how good, bad, or indifferent they are, except the Ottawa Senators. That's the only team I can't see finding a way out of the paper bag. So that being said, as you're looking at this series here, we've got 2 games. We've got Logan Thompson again, Sammy Montembeault popping off out there. And yeah, Thompson's going to go for his 3rd straight start. Makes sense. Montembeault going for his 3rd straight start. Makes sense. Early in the playoffs. So yeah, got to ride the hot hand right now. And look, Logan Thompson is the guy. He's in. Capitals got themselves a goal keep. 2-0, 95.1% save percentage, 1.47 goals against average. But Montreal has a nice little home run going. The fans of Montreal are loyal and passionate. They speak French. And if you don't speak French, they don't welcome you very often. That is a fact. 23, 12, and 6 are the Canadians when they're at home. And their back's against the wall. Now, I've got to see, it doesn't really matter to me from a player perspective here, personnel perspective. Patrick Laine. Matter of fact, I should put this right here so I can see if it does come across the pike. Patrick Laine is questionable. But the reason it doesn't matter to me is because if you take a star player out of the lineup, you still play him that first game. And Demidov probably is the guy to step into his place and find a way to make it happen out there. So lower scoring game, but I'll take the home team. Backs against the wall. Same situation as St. Louis last night. And I'm in. I want it. What's up, Biggie Smalls? What's going on, my dude? I like that name, Biggie Smalls. So, yeah, give me some La Habitants. Give me some even money spot on these guys here. Backs against the wall. Home crowd. Friday night's going to be popping. It's going to be rival contentious territory. And this is probably the only game I think the Capitals lose this series. The only game the Canadians will find a way to win this series. Perfect situation. You're coming in down 2-0 Friday night. The benefit of having the home crowd, and backs against the wall. I can't say it any more clear. You know, previous games wise, if you kind of look at the way they matched up, 3-2 and 3-1. Remember what I said? These shitbag teams, team total unders, make a lot of sense. That's where I kind of got involved with this New Jersey spot. New Jersey's team total under 2.5, but 3-2 and 3-1. It's Logan Thompson that's standing on his head. Let's hope he doesn't come out on fire. Let's get this first game with us. Yeah. Realize I didn't advance the. Oh. It's all right. It's all right. Let's go on to game number 2. We've got the Kings and the Oilers. So I gave you my thoughts here. I may make it official with this Devils team total under. Similar situation though. You know, your Friday night, you're coming in New Jersey, ruckus crowd, borderline New Yorkers, right? Violent and angry. It'll be interesting to see. Frederik Andersen, starting goal for the Carolina Hurricanes. Should be anyways. He's expected to be the guy. Crushing it. Just shutting down the Devils. 1 or fewer goals in 3 games. New Jersey's probably toast. I just can't get there. I can't see this as a situation where I want to get involved. The injuries we've been talking about. I actually thought my assessment of the New Jersey Devils was I thought they were missing the playoffs. I can't believe they made the playoffs. And now they're just kind of punting. They're bombs. Montreal Moneyline. Montreal Moneyline, Ignatius Pennyfeather. Montreal. The Habitants. Montreal Canadiens. To get it done. Tonight. Just tonight. Not the next game. But we'll look at this Edmonton series here. I mean, same situation. You're down 2 games to none. The problem is, and it's surprising because you knew it going into the season, that your goaltending issues in Edmonton are atrocious. And Skinner has a 6.11 goals against average in his first 2 playoff games this year. 81% saving. Basically, the strategy if you're the LA Kings is shoot on Pickard. It goes in. It's that simple. But man, do you want to put your chips against Edmonton in this case? This game? Needing it? Backs against the wall? Friday nights? If they bring that girl in there that flashes everybody and got the crowd roaring the last year, that might be trouble. I don't know. I'd call her up if I was the Edmonton Oilers. Why not? Money is moving towards the Oilers as well. Minus 143. This is kind of that perplexing situation. I don't think LA is going to win, but I don't want to lay a $1.43 on the Edmonton Oilers. So what do? Do you take a team total under? Well, whose team total under would you take? Would it be Edmonton? Not if they're going to win. It's a tough spot. Overall, between these 2 spots, the only thing I was looking at with this game, straightforward, goals. The Friday night barn, everything's popping, packed. sixes across the board with bad goaltending. Skinner, 12 goals in 2 games. You got to go to Pickard. And he ain't any better. Kings are firing the puck. They're finding a way to score. I like the over. I took the over 6. I thought this is one of those. So yeah, I mean, Kelly V says Edmonton or pass. Yeah, I'm going to look to the total. I'm going to look for scores. It started at 6.5. It's come down to 6. There's pricey 5.5s out there. And the Sharps are buying those pricey 5.5s. So for what it's worth, probably gets right to 6. And it's probably Edmonton that wins 4-2. The -1.5 plus 182. Shout out to Nunya. What's up, Nunya? So that's what I got. I got this LA Edmonton. I'm going to go with the over 6. It's right around even money. Plenty of even money 6s out there. So do a little shopping. You know, if you want to pay up for the 5.5, I'm not an advocate of giving out the -140s, but seems fair. Should be a 4-2 final. Hopefully. See, the thing about the goal scoring here, too, is goalie comes out if the team goes down. I expect this one to be very similar to that St. Louis series as well. Edmonton comes out firing tonight. Gets one back. Desperate. With one of the best players in the NHL, if not the best player, in Connor McDavid. I'm not going to call him the best player. Maybe he is. Probably he is. I'm not going to say it, though. All right. Let's roll into some Major League Baseball. We got the Yankees and the Blue Jays in an AL East battle, and the Bronx. Overcast. Or at least it was overcast here today. And this game will pop off at 7 p.m. Let me shift this over here. We got a situation where there are big bets coming in on this total. 86% of the bets and 93% of the cash. It's gone from 9.5 to a 9. 87% of the bets and 91% of the cash on the Yankees. It's come down 7 cents. Stop the presses right there. Before we look at anything else, the Yankees are probably the most public bet team in the universe. Next to Notre Dame. Especially Notre Dame basketball or football. Most bet team in the universe. And there's always a tax associated to it. They always hike it up because they know they're going to get action. And they're getting action. And they made it even more cost effective to bet the Yankees. What does that tell you? Right off the cuff, there's going to be an issue going on with this Yankee spot. Now let's peel the onion back. Let's take a look at who's who, who's what, who's where, and who's why, and when and how. Well, it's Cookie Carrasco. Yeah, him with a 6.53 ERA. It's Jose Barrios. Him with a 1-1 record 5.02 ERA. Both these pitchers, suspect. The Toronto Blue Jays. Fun little Toronto Blue Jays. Went 9 for 90 against the Astros. 9 for 90. 9 hits the entire series. They scored 2 runs on those 9 hits. Kind of impressive. Law of averages says that's not happening again. And that's what I love so much about baseball is you get that big swath, that big sample, right? And that's why the mathematics work so great in MLB. Now you fire off Cookie Carrasco. To me, it doesn't matter what the Yankees do in this side of things. It's more about what Toronto's going to do. And I'm not saying that I am 100% sold on their ability to go out there and smash the ball around. But look, the Yankees aren't really beating the brakes off of anybody either. They won that last game against Cleveland Guardians 5-1, but they lost 3-2 and 6-4 before that. We know Jose Barrios is bad at home. He's not home. He's on the road. And remember last year? Remember what I talked about last year? For whatever reason, when AL East teams play each other at home, they're like sub 50%. But when they went on the road, they would find victories. And then when they went out of the conference, they beat everybody. It's a little different this year. Again, everybody predicted the Yankees. The biggest bet was the Yankees not to make the playoffs. I think they're vulnerable. I think Cookie's vulnerable here for sure. 6.53 ERA. And look, there's a lot of trends that do support buying in on the Yankees, of course. But did you know if you fade the Yankees, divisional series openers, AL East series openers, you're 24-10. 34 game sample, 24-10. Also, you got a situation where you got a team coming back after a 6-game road trip. You want to fade them boys. So you got Cookie. You got the law of improbability with the lack of batting capabilities and consistency from this Toronto Blue Jays team. Give me some Blue Jays. Give me plus money on these Blue Jays as well. Plus 120. You know, a lot of people will say, well, how do you not play teams that are hitting or not hitting? How do you play on a team that's not hitting? Well, neither team's hitting. I'll fade these Yankees game 1 of a series. Recognize. And, you know, while we're talking about fading teams in game 1 of a series, that's divisional series. That's the Yankees in divisional series openers. Fade them. How about the other side of things? The Cardinals. Fading the Cardinals has been nothing but profit in game 1. Well, not absolute profit, but the Brewers should be a very good look tonight. Big plus money price tag on the Brewers. Haven't gotten there yet, but we got 10 more minutes. Let's keep her moving. Let's get into Houston and Kansas City. Kind of another similar situation. Team that's not hitting. Now, the Astros were beneficiaries of the Toronto Blue Jays setting a Major League Baseball record of 9 for 90. That's an issue, for sure. The Astros will send out Wesniewski to the bump. Kansas City will send out Seth Lugo to the bump. Seth Lugo, 1-3, but 3.9 ERA. You know, I always said the pitching numbers, I'm not the only guy that says this, right? But the pitching record's kind of irrelevant. It's more their ERA. You can't help it if their guys aren't hitting. And on the other side of things, Wesniewski's 3.91. So you got a pretty much a split. Both these guys are right around the same as far as their ERAs are concerned. This is like the oldest trick in the book, I think. Ignatius Pennyfeather says, Mike, taking my boys, the Bluebirds. Let's go. Blue Jays plus 124. Let's go. Get it, boys. Get on. Big Scott like Santander. Bellinger, both to have over a half of runs. RBIs, plus 267. Okay. Spoon Bet says, I see 65% of the money on the Yankees and 62% of the money on the under. Depends on where you're getting the numbers from. That's the age-old question. Where are you getting your numbers from? And I suppose it doesn't really make a difference as long as you're getting the first number on the street. The thing that does make the most difference here is using the same numbers consistently, though. You know, don't flip books. Don't change brands, right? If you're, you know, it's like the constant versus the variable, right? Not to get into mathematics and science. Your constant should be the book that you're using for benchmarking or whatever source you're using to get your split data. That shouldn't change. Variable might be how you apply that logic, but the constant should be whatever book you're using. So, you know, one works, one for you. Go get it. Get that money. Kelly V says a reminder. Kings Road bad, Kings home great. Okay. Astros Royals. Looking at this game here. 63% of the bets, 73% of the cash on the Astros. It has moved. It's moved 8 cents from minus 104 to minus 112. The total has not moved. 96% of the bets, 94% of the cash are on the over. It has not moved. Which is surprising considering you've got two guys that are just around a 4 ERA. So probably suggests that these guys might have a pitching duel coming up with the fact that this thing hasn't moved. You know, Lugo's a ground ball guy, 36.4% ground ball rate. I don't want to get involved in the first 5 of this game, but I'll take the full shot. Houston's bullpen's not terrible right now. A 2.05 ERA the last 3 games. Granted, they were playing against that suspect Toronto team out there, but I'm good with that. And if this is going to be an under game here, look, The Astros are one of the leaders. 30 road games, 27-3 to the unders. Under's a great look. Under's such a great look that I jumped on it. First off. Second off, I got involved with the Astros. I want some Stros in my game here. I want them in my portfolio tonight. Situational spot, as I mentioned. Kansas City had a doubleheader yesterday. Houston had the day off. Pretty straightforward. And if you want to quantify it, non-divisional road favorites that have rest are 316 and 190. Game one away favorites versus bad teams are 87 and 29. Love it. Love both spots. I hammered the Astros and I took the under. It's a double dip special. Spoon Bet says Perez not playing today. Perfect. Line me up. Load my pockets with some Astros and some under money here. Just don't be the game that they come back to life. You know, that's what we don't want. Maybe tomorrow's fine. Maybe tomorrow you want to have a run explosion. Go ahead. Eights, though. I see some 7.5s that are out there, too. So get that 8. Don't let that 8 get away from you. Big, important spot there, I think, to have that 8. You don't want to be sitting there losing your push because you saved a nickel. Literally, that's like the cost differential between those two. So let's go to the last game here in baseball. We got 2 NBA games, and we got 5 minutes till our guest is supposed to be here and backstage. So we'll see. We'll see if we can time this thing right for a new segment. Hopefully a fan-friendly segment. We'll see. Or we're going to get done really early. So we'll see. The Pirates and the Dodgers are the third game on deck here in Major League Baseball. And it's a late night special. By the way, love the Padres. I might have mentioned that already. All about these Padres. Let's go Pirates and Dodgers in this spot here, and it's Skeens night. Pretty straightforward, right? Lots of cash coming in, 95% of the bets, 92% of the cash on the over 7. We're not seeing any movement here. I did hear a beat. Holy cow. We're ready to roll. Let's go. Keep it short and sweet. I'm going to take this first 5 under 3.5. Look, Dodgers probably go out there and smack the bottoms off them, but what we talked about the last 2 games with this Pirates, I don't want to trust their bats. Their bats are inconsistent at best. Now, we saw them go out there and find a way to get it done against the Angels. Lots of Angels money coming in there, except for yesterday. 9-3, then a 3-0. And what happens after a team shuts them out? They take the L. Now they're rolling to the big stadium, the big boys, and the Dodgers can go out there and handle them early. So we'll take a shot with that. We'll take a run at them, and we'll get that done. Let me go really quick with these next 2, and then we will bring our guest on. I know he's here. He's ready. I'm excited. It's going to be a lot of fun to bring on a newcomer here to the sports money programming. NBA time, Boston Celtics, Orlando Magic. Let me keep it short and sweet for you guys. I told you this is one of the best trends rolling in National Basketball Association, and it's a playoff-oriented trend. You got this thing coming in at -4. It's moved to 6. You have 65% of the bets, 49% of the cash on the Celtics, and a number that's kind of creeping up. It started at 196.5. We're seeing 201s out there, 91% of the bets, 94% of the cash. We've seen now that these big double-digit teams are finding a way not to get to those numbers. Certainly a point of contention. They're getting to be a little too wide on these numbers, but this one's certainly come way back. And look, keep it short and sweet for you guys. 109-100 was not a cover for the Celtics. That triggers this 63-7 trend that simply says if you're down 0-2 in the series, you covered the last game, and you're going home, you win the first half. That's it. Straightforward. Get the home cooking. You can get some points in your back pocket. I got the Magic. I took them on the money line for the first half. Just a money line play for me. Straightforward. Why not? Even money. Give it a shot. Give it a go. Last spot we'll talk about really quick here. The Pacers and the Bucks. This line opened at +3. It's gone to 4.5s and even 5s. 50% of the bets. 42% of the cash coming in on the Pacers. Totals not budging with 84% of the bets and 83% of the cash coming in on the over. And we're looking at this game, looking back and forth across the board just to keep her moving fast for us. I think the wrong team's favored. A lot of people like this Bucks. You know, they're getting dismantled by the Pacers right now is what it comes down to. They won 117-98. Game 2 was a lot tighter. 123-115 finish, but You want to play slow, you want to play fast. The Pacers don't really care. Giannis is not enough, and he's going to have to do even more to get it done versus a squad led by Halliburton and depth. Halliburton's 12 assists in both games. 10 points in game 1, 21 points in game 2. He's going to have to step it up, but 6 players have scored 14 or more points between these squads. Siakam, Turner, Nembhard, all recipients of Halliburton tossing that ball around. So I'm going to take me some Pacers. I got the plus 5.5. Keep your eyes on this number, plus 5.5, minus 106. I want to introduce our new segment here. I want to bring our guy on. I hate to keep him waiting. I know he's here, ready to rock, and I appreciate him being punctual. Let me get the screen set up here. Let's do this the right way. And please welcome from the Superbook in Las Vegas, Andrew Patakidis coming in here rocking with us. Andrew,
Yes,
how are you?
I'm doing awesome. It's a great day at the book. Lots of fun sports going on. Obviously, with the hockey playoffs, you got the NBA playoffs. The draft is still, for some reason, the people here are asking for the draft over everything. They don't care about the playoff games. We're all worried about the NFL months out. You know what I mean? So it's a fun time here at the book.
Well, I'm so glad that you made the opportunity. Welcome into Sports Money here in Pregaming. I saw the segment that you did before. I reached out and you were super cool to respond quickly. And you were like, yeah, man, if I can do it, I'll be happy to come in and help you out. And I thought, what a better way than kind of getting it right from the guy, the risk manager at the book himself. And what we want to do is we want to talk a little bit about where you see some of this liability coming in, because certainly I think it brings a rounded perspective. And like I said, super cool for you to jump in here, not knowing me from Adam, and help grow this thing that we're doing here. But I thought that was really cool, man. So props. Appreciate you taking the time to jump in.
Yeah,
here.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So, if you want to start off with, I'm the head trader for the UFC, so that's kind of my sport that I get the most leeway, kind of moving the odds and booking. But we're not the biggest team here. We're just based out of Vegas, so I kind of have my hands in a lot of different pools. So. I'm super interested to talk to you about some of the games and some of the spots that you're interested in knowing about.
Well, we love combat sports in general. This year particularly, we got involved and sponsored a Legacy Fighting, an LFA fighter. He's carrying the Sports Money brand on his trunks when he goes out there and battles across the LFA atmosphere. But look, this is where we started, was getting involved with the MMA, the UFC. And we do a Saturday live show rolling right through the card. Best bets, the whole works, but we've got a couple shows during the week. We've got ourselves a play card that we put together, as well, a playbook with some of our favorite bets, our sharp analysis and insights when it comes to that stuff. But, dude, this is a great way to round out and everything that we've got going on. Again, to hear what's going on, where you guys see the liability. We just started having this conversation more in depth a couple of weeks ago, too. So the timing is fantastic. Coming from the book itself, we'd love to hear what you guys think. First of all, anything that's buzzing today, anything that you guys see out there with the playoffs going on with Major League Baseball, is there anything? I know it's kind of arm's reach from you, but as far as, any liability that you see out there today?
No, for sure. I mean, like I said, we're a short team, so I kind of see all the action that's coming in. I'm keeping up with the NBA. I also love the NBA. So, we'll start there. Obviously, we had some injury concerns early with the Celtics game, where there was a lot of guys questionable going into today, with Tatum being questionable, Jaylen Brown being questionable, Drew Holiday being questionable. So we did take a lot of early money on the Magic side, probably most likely just because those guys were anticipating some of these guys not playing. So as of now, where we sit, we do need the Celtics, Moneyline and side, which I feel like is a decent spot to be in, because we figured out Tatum is playing. So that one seemed to kind of work itself out for us. In the other two spots, it looks like we need the Pacers in the Pacers-Bucks game for a small decision. And then there's been real good two-way handle on that Wolves and Lakers game, where it's been pretty easy to balance the book on that game. Nothing too crazy in the Lakers Wolves game.
Do you find that with the Lakers kind of being such a public team, it's hard to really move the needle one way or the other when it comes to some of those sides?
Yeah, I would say it's definitely typical that we would be rooting against the Lakers. But man, this is such a close matchup, the Lakers and Wolves, that I feel like there's a lot of people out there that truly believe that the Wolves are just a better team and going to win this series. So, yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to that game as well.
How about the NHL? Do you have anything going on with the puck?
I'll pull the NHL up.
Love it. We really appreciate Andrew Babakitis coming in here. Am I saying your last name right? I don't
Yeah,
want to.
no, you're pretty close. It's Babakitis. Yeah, it's.
Babakitis. Okay. All right.
I know.
I want to make sure I give you the respect.
No, all good. Yeah, the Prez always gives me a hard time about the last name. I'm like, dude, we got to get it figured out one of these shows, but it's all good. Yeah, it looks like our biggest decision in the hockey games. We need the Kings. There's been a lot of action on the Oilers. I don't really have anything super respected to give out other than a big amount of handle on the Oilers so far.
Makes sense. I'd see these guys being down 2-0. Going back home, a lot of people expected them as Stanley Cup runner-ups last year to find a way to crack the code. And LA Kings are a tough matchup for them boys. So it's
I know a lot of the guys have been surprised how well the Kings have been playing so far in the playoffs. I know a couple of the hockey guys in the back weren't super high on the Kings, but they've been surprised. And yeah, another thing I'm doing with the hockey is keeping up with that exacta. Like the whatever Knights to beat whoever in the finals or the Stanley Cup. So I'm kind of doing my best to keep up with hockey, but I have my hand in so many things. It's hard to know what teams are which, but it does feel like there's a lot of parity in the NHL. There's a lot of teams that have a chance to win. So it's been fun to keep up with.
It's. I was saying this the other day. The matchups are incredible. That we've got some really high caliber squads here that are facing off against each other in the first series.
Right.
It means that maybe if one of these dogs can find a way to get through, that they could make it. Maybe they go pretty deep and have a shot.
Yeah, and they mentioned that Dallas is missing a couple of their best players. Yeah. If they get through this series, they might get a couple guys back and be dangerous going forward. So that's another interesting one. But yeah, I'm excited. This is the best time of the year, in my opinion, for the sports, other than when the NFL is here, because you got the playoffs in both the major leagues, and you got baseball has started, and UFC. Like, it's just a good time in the sports world, honestly.
That's a lot of fun, man. I appreciate you taking this time. Let's talk about Saturday here. I want to respect your time and appreciate you coming on, and certainly I don't want to keep you longer than you can give me. So I'll sit there and talk sports with you all night, though. If, I know you got to get out of there soon. So let's talk. Let's hear it. Big liability. Love that you're involved with the UFC. That's our favorite spot to get involved with here. But floor is yours, my friend. Talk to us about where you see some liability. Any other sports as well that maybe pop up on the weekend. We'd love to hear about all of that good stuff.
Right on. So yeah, we'll start down at the kind of lower in the card. Our sharpest player in the UFC actually came in, and he actually has multiple spots this week. He usually is very, very selective with his plays. He came in early and bet on Jimmy Flick at plus 280. That line has moved a ton since then. We opened up Flick, we opened up Schnell minus 250. That thing got as high as $3. That's when we did take that bet on Jimmy Flick. Now we're sitting minus 170 on Matt Schnell. So, like I said, that one's already moved a ton. Wow. And then today, that our same customer who, like I said, is our best UFC guy, came in and he ended up betting on Cameron Simon at plus 120, which is now we have it sitting minus 115. So it's a real close to a pick'em fight. So that's another one that we're gonna look to do our best to win alongside our sharp guy. That's kind of the goal of us risk managers is we're trying to give big fair plays to these sharp guys, so they give us their real information. We want to be in line with those guys. So yeah, we're looking to need Simon in that fight. And then, yeah, we could talk about the main event. That's been a super fun one to book so far. We opened the thing a pick. The price has moved in Gary's direction pretty significantly. Early action was on Gary, but there's been some big bets on Pratas as well. So Yeah, this has been an easy one to book because really there's been good two-way handle. A lot of guys are interested on that Prada side, and it's honestly a really good fight. So I'm looking forward to see who's going to win that one. That's probably one of the most anticipated fights I could think of in that weight class in a while. So I'm looking forward to it.
That's gonna be a real barn burner. It looks like a really fun card. When you look at it from you brought up something that kind of intrigues me. You talk about being a partner with your sharp bettors, and from a book's perspective, are you still trying to align action on both sides of things, or kind of I see that a lot of these price books are getting up there now. They're adding nickels and dimes on one side versus the other, trying to sway the action. Are you just looking to balance the card, balance your book, or are you looking to really crack people over the head?
So it kind of depends on the situation, right? So initially we'll kind of go through the card together, me and some of the other guys in the back that are, bigger into the UFC, and we'll give our opinions, talk about what we think the price should be. But we're not digging our heels in based off of our opinions. We really want to get up relatively close to the market. And then if, my side or one of the guys who is in the UFC really likes his side, and then you get a big sharp bet on that side, that's just reassurance that we should be winning on that side, right? So it, kind of a lame answer, but not always are we trying to win big on the sharp plays. It just kind of depends because, we're not foolish. We know that these guys have power to manipulate the market, right? They do know that they're sharp, and they know, hey, if I bet this amount, they're going to move the market. So you can't always expect them to be giving you 100% real plays. But for the most part, that's kind of why you don't want to give those guys super low limits to where they don't feel like they want to get involved at your book. So that's our philosophy. Obviously, that's clearly a lot different than some of the bigger books. They don't have the same philosophy because they have so much handle. It's just a lot different. We're in a very sharp competition market, So Vegas gets that sharp action between us, Circa. There's some big books out here in Vegas.
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time. I know you're about to get up out of there and start your weekend. So why don't you give everyone a shout out, let them know what's going on, what's happening with the Superbook, and we'll appreciate you being here with us today.
Absolutely. So we're doing the reduced juice on the baseball game. So if you're trying to get a little bit more favorable pricing, I know on a lot of these UFC big pay-per-view cards, main events and co-main events will do reduced juice on that. So if you're trying to get the best price and you're in Vegas, it's always nice to have multiple books. That's what I won't say all the smart customers are doing, but it's good to have a variety of different books to shop lines. And I think we're one of the most competitive priced books out there. So yeah, if you're in Vegas, say hello. Follow me on Twitter if you haven't. And I appreciate you having me on, man. I really do. And I hope we can do this again soon.
Respect, man. I know you know, when we have the big UFC cards or UFC cards in general, love to get you involved, love to get the take, and respect you taking the time to do this with us today. Thank you very much. Welcome in, and we'll be seeing you real soon.
Yes, sir. I'll be back.
All right. Take care. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
There it is, boys and girls. Andrew Babakitas coming into you from the Superbook in Las Vegas. And again, excited. This gentleman was kind enough not only to respond, but say that he was happy to get involved and help us out with it. So as we have more events coming up, specifically the UFC cards for the weekend, as he mentioned, he's the MMA, the UFC guy over there in risk management. So love to hear what he has to say, but what a great benefit for us to be able to get a gentleman like that to come in here and bless us with his presence, talk about some of those big spots out there, that are sitting on the radar. And if it's on their radar, we want it to be on our radar. That's what it's all about here with Sports Money and Pregame. And so we'll get our man back. Hopefully we get him back next week and make this thing a regular on a Friday. Yeah, Ramon mentioned it. If you got any questions, we certainly want to see those as well. So appreciate you guys taking the time. If you like today's show, smash the thumbs up. Make sure you leave a comment in the chat for us here or post-production. And again, I want to thank Andrew Babakitas and the Superbook in Las Vegas, spending his time carving out a few minutes for us to help share where the big bets are coming in and some of the strategy. I love that development piece of it. What's the strategy as it relates to the partnership that the risk managers and the books have with their sharp clients. We want to get that and much of that information in our hands as we can. Appreciate everybody. Enjoy your weekends. We'll be back. Ramon Scott will pop off at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning with the morning steam. Then we've got the live stream. We'll pop off around 5:45 p.m. for that 6:15 card. Hopefully you heard what our man said about where that action is coming in. Write it down, take note, and let's get paid. Have your